Hello and welcome to Buddhistdoor Global's weekly news review. I'm Justin Whitaker, senior correspondent for BDG, speaking to you from our offices in Hong Kong. In this week's news, in India, the Khyentse Foundation has released updates on their progress of their Lighting the Maha Bodhi project. The project, undertaken with funding from Siddhartha's Intent, India, with support from the Khyentse Foundation and the Vana Foundation, is perhaps the most ambitious Buddhist light offering in history. Dzongzor Khyentse Rinpoche proposed the initiative in 2015 and in 2017 received approval from the Bodh Gaya Temple Management Committee and the Gaya District Magistrate. The project was officially launched on 26th of March this year. The plan is to replace the entire lighting system of the temple, much of which is 40 to 50 years old. The Maha Bodhi Temple, one of the most sacred of all pilgrimage sites for Buddhist practitioners, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, marking the place where the historical Buddha is said to have attained enlightenment. There are 7 other sacred sites in Bodh Gaya, including the descendant of the original Bodhi tree. In the United States, the oldest Buddhist temple in Hawaii has been burglarized, leading to one arrest. The Hamakua Jodo Mission on Hawaii's Big Island was robbed by 2 men late last month. A backup surveillance camera caught the men stealing security cameras and other equipment, as well as food coolers from the temple. One of the assailants has been caught by police, while his partner remains at large. The theft occurred shortly after the two had visited with the church president, who offered them a tour of the area. The security cameras had been installed as a response to previous burglaries and vandalism over the past year. Video from the cameras show the 2 men leaving the church after the tour. They are then later seen returning after the church president and others had left. Temple officials placed images from the second security camera online, and within hours, people had identified one of the culprits, who was later caught when he was recognized at a gas station. The second assailant has not been caught. India and the United States are exploring alternatives to animal testing in biomedical research. India's national regulator for biomedical research, the Indian Council of Medical Research, has recommended fast-tracking investments in technologies that can replace animal testing, following calls from an influential medical journal to transition drug toxicity and efficacy trials away from animals. The paper's authors said that the alternative technologies would be more ethical and humane, and also more cost-effective than animal testing. The team suggested that emerging technologies that model complex human physiology, such as organoids and organs on a chip, which are laboratory-grown versions of the human tissue, are starting to rival and in some cases outperform animals in their ability to model human disease, according to the journal Nature. A month after the article's publication, the EPA in the United States announced an ambitious plan to end cruel and unnecessary animal testing by 2035. This was a milestone in a long process of lobbying by politicians, journalists, and activists since the enactment of the Toxic Substances Control Act in 1976. Finally, in South Korea, a rotating Buddhist sutra case has been promoted as a national treasure. The Cultural Heritage Administration, an agency of the South Korean government, has announced that it will promote a rotating Buddhist sutra case to the status of national treasure. The hall where it is housed in Yongmun-sa Temple has also been named a national treasure. Both were deemed worthy of this status after considering their time of establishment, religious meaning, and cultural significance. The Cultural Heritage Administration has designated a total of 24 buildings as national treasures, and this hall will be the first piece of architecture to be named as such in 8 years. The rotating case, also known as the Revolving Scriptures Library Pillar, is over 800 years old and functions as a spinning pillar for Buddhist scriptures. Buddhists believe that by turning it, they will gain positive karma without necessarily studying the Buddhist scriptures enclosed. That is all for this week's BDG News Review. Be sure to check out our website, Buddhistdoor.net, for all these stories, along with features and special coverage of Buddhism around the world.